Hey guys, I'm Kevin and this is Comms by Kemp Outside. I'm super excited to launch this brand new YouTube channel, guys. If you're saying, hey, that guy looks familiar, it's because you've probably seen my Kemp Outside YouTube channel where we cover a lot of camping, hiking, and fishing stuff. Over there, we did an outdoor comms series of videos, and I've decided to just expand that into its own YouTube channel. I'm a ham radio operator. My call sign is KB8WPD. I also have a GMRS license, WRQG272, and I love all things outdoor comms. And so I wanted to launch a separate channel where we can dive really deep into radios and satellite internet and all kinds of stuff that we use when we're outdoors. We're gonna get into some mesh-tastic, we're gonna cover marine VHF, we're gonna cover all kinds of stuff. So our first content video we put out was the 5 reasons why you should get into the family radio service, right? And what an awesome little radio service, license-free radio service. It's a great place to start if you are looking to get into radios, but you don't know how to begin or where to begin, right? But today we're going to do another video on the 5 reasons you should look into MURS, or the multi-user radio service. It's another radio service out there that's available to folks doing outdoor activities, and it's a great option for you if you don't want to do the family radio service. If maybe you want a little higher end of a radio, or you have some unique needs that you don't want to do FRS, you can get into MURS, and it is really cool. So MURS stands for Multi-User Radio Service, and it is on the VHF band. So family radio service is on the UHF band. This is on the VHF band, which gives a little better performance, I think, out in the woods when you're trying to transmit through trees and terrain and stuff like that. I think VHF does a little better. But let's get right into MURS. So here are the 5 reasons why I think you should consider MURS if you're looking for outdoor comms. And the first one is that there are relatively inexpensive radios, right? So you can get into MURS radios like this Radioddity MU5 for, considerably less money than some of the other radio services out there. And I normally don't cover prices because prices change all the time, especially with all the tariff talk going on and stuff like that, which is, really kind of in the news as of the making of this video. So I don't really want to talk about prices because they fluctuate, but think in terms of $30 to $60 a radio, right? You can buy higher end MURS radios, and you can buy they're like I would call them mid-tier. Something like this is a lot better than something like this, right? So, and you can get these relatively inexpensively. So if you need to outfit your whole group, your family, whatever, think $30 to $60 a radio, maybe a little more depending on what the tariff situation is going on, or when you watch this video. But it doesn't cost that much to issue everyone a radio. The second reason I think you ought to consider MURS is that there's no license required. So that's very similar to FRS, the family radio service, in that you don't have to have a license to get on these radios. You can order them, have them delivered, plug them in, charge them up, and then turn them on and immediately start transmitting. You do not need anyone's permission to operate on MURS. The third reason why I think you ought to consider MURS is there is not much traffic on MURS, especially in rural areas. Now, unlike FRS, which has 22 channels, right? MURS only has 5. But I have been monitoring MURS channels for probably 5 years now, regularly when I'm out camping. I just have a radio that scans, and I don't think I've ever heard anyone on MURS channels when I've been out in the woods. Now, this is different if you're in an urban environment because there's a lot of businesses that'll use MURS. So I think even like Walmart might use MURS or something like that. But the bottom line is that in a rural environment or out in the woods, you're going to have very few people on MURS, which means you might have the whole radio service to yourself, depending on where you're at. So that's really, really nice. The fourth reason to choose MURS instead of like the family radio service is that you can upgrade the antennas for longer range. And this is a really cool feature of MURS, right? So both MURS and FRS have a maximum limit for transmit of 2 watts. But in FRS, the antenna has to be fixed to the radio. You can do nothing to replace this antenna for a better antenna with farther range. You can't take this antenna off. It's fixed to the radio on an FRS radio. On a MURS radio, you can absolutely take this antenna off, right? And so you can take this off, and then you could connect that to a wire and hang an antenna in a tree or put it up on a tower up to 50 feet high. And guys, with these kinds of radios, height is might, right? The higher up you are, the farther you're going to be able to transmit. And so this is an excellent reason to get into MURS. You can set up a radio at base camp and hang an antenna in a tree 20 to 30 feet up and give yourself a lot more coverage over your base camp than just sitting at ground level with like an FRS radio. So that is a huge advantage of MURS versus FRS when you're looking at the two free radio services that don't require a license. And then the fifth reason, guys, why I would say you need to consider MURS is that being outdoors means spotty cell coverage or no coverage at all. There's a lot of places where we go where cell phones just don't have signal, or at least not enough signal to make a call or send a text or to get out your information. And so if you need to keep in touch with your group or your family or the people that you're camping with, you might want to consider radios as part of your comms plan. And if you're looking for a free non-licensed radio service that has some really nice features and doesn't have a whole lot of traffic, MURS is where it's at. Guys, if you want to see my full video review of the MURS MU5, I'm going to put a link right up here. That's on my Camp Outside YouTube channel from that comm series that I did over there. So you can check out that full review. But I'm also going to put an affiliate link below to where you can pick up a MURS MU5. I really, really, really like this. If you use my link to purchase, it doesn't cost you anything extra, but it's a great way to support my channel. So I get a little commission on the sale. It's greatly appreciated. But I would definitely add MURS to your comms plan, even if you have FRS radios, and even if you most often use FRS radios. You might want to pick up a couple of these just to have in your arsenal in case these just aren't cutting it. Or you need to throw an antenna up in a tree for bigger range. Guys, I'm also going to do a video on how to do that, how to maximize your range on MURS radios by putting an antenna up in a tree and getting more and more distance. So stay tuned. We have a whole lot of content planned for this channel. I'm super excited about it. So if you would, hit that subscribe button, ring that little bell to notify you when we release new videos, and give me a thumbs up on this video, guys. I'm trying to help people find this brand new channel and get people knowing that we're doing this kind of content. So if you could like it and even share it amongst your friends, that would be fantastic. I really, really appreciate it. Guys, thanks for watching. If you have any questions about anything, drop something in the comments below, or you can connect with me on my other social media. I'm on Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, and X, and I'll put all the links to those down in the description below. Or you can connect with me on my website at campoutside.com. Guys, we have a whole lot more coming, as I said before, so camp out with us right here at Comms by Camp Outside. Guys, we'll see you outside. Thanks for watching.